Yes, people. Bryan Mbeumo. We need to talk. We need to talk because apparently Spurs are trying to hijack a deal for Bryan Mbeumo. Jason Wilcox cannot let this happen. As Arteta once said for the title, Over My Dead Body, we cannot let Spurs come through with Thomas Frank and Champions League football and take Bryan Mbeumo to the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Jason Wilcox, you got two jobs actually. Yes, the Victor Gyökeres thing, but now leave that. Victor Gyökeres is mad. He's got stuff to sort out. Secure the bag with Mbeumo. Make sure you secure the bag. Tottenham fans, Tyler Diblin, way better. Better XG, better field tilt, better prospect. Spend 100 million on Tyler Diblin. We all know he's far better than Bryan Mbeumo. You got no business getting Bryan Mbeumo. You got Kulu. Yeah? You got Kulu. So Man United, make it happen because we cannot afford for Bryan Mbeumo to go to Spurs. Big up each and every single one of you, man. It's the Trinity here. We have got to get into it. KG, let's get the bomb ready. It's Trinity episode 67. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. We need to talk because at the beginning, when this happened, it was, no, don't worry. No, he's chosen us. And me and Owen did a show on that. I remember that. That was a few days back. It was when the Thomas Frank thing was kind of becoming a thing. Yeah? And then we were like, nah, he's made his mind up. And also, there's going to be things in there where, Thomas Frank can't take players with him. He's not going to be able to do that. There's going to be things in the contract. Well, I've also said many times, for news to travel through the Sky Sports newsroom, has to go through a lot of eyes. Has to go through a lot of ears. Has to be, a lot of T's have to be crossed. A lot of I's has to be dotted. So for them to come strong and say, he fancies it, we're being told.
Intriguing.
I'm just saying, there's something there. The floor is open, guys. Smash a like on the video, people. Subscribe to the channel if you're new.
Well, I spoke to X about this on Best of Enemies.
What's he saying?
And I was like, they're shit. No, I said Spurs are shit. Yeah.
But before you go into that thought, KG, because it's a deep thought. If people aren't aware of the story that's going on at the moment, people are going, they've done a KG and they've gone, what do you mean Spurs are hijacking Mbeumo? What's going on? Because it can happen. It can happen.
All the time.
Right? This is what the situation is. As Flex says, Sky Sports said Bryan Mbeumo is understood to be intrigued by a move to Spurs now that Thomas Frank has become their head coach. Spurs have received encouragement about a potential deal now that the Dane has made the switch to North London. The specific actual person who broke this was Lyle Thomas, who, of course, is very big on the Spurs news when it comes to Sky Sports. I think he's even a Spurs fan. He said that Tottenham have held initial discussions with Brentford about a potential deal for Bryan Mbeumo. Frank to Spurs increases their chances, but they also remain interested in Antoine Semenyo, like Fex was alluding to. Now, if you're going to get into the conspiracy, this is why I wanted to really put this up first. KG is a big believer in the signs or what have you. This was on Bryan Mbeumo's story earlier today, saying thank you, Thomas. It was on Mbeumo's story.
No, he's still a Brentford player. He's still a Brentford player.
Yeah, some people are going, well, yeah. Is that a sign that he's gonna? Is that a sign that he's gonna follow him? It's
a sign that he's a good egg and he respects the manager who's given him a platform. It's a sign he's a good character.
Well, when it comes to Mbeumo, though, but then suddenly the next development of this story was Ben Jacobs saying that although Tottenham have stepped up their interest in Bryan Mbeumo, as called by Sky Sports, conversations are not yet advanced. Brentford won in excess of £60 million, and Mbeumo's preferred option is still Manchester United. Spurs have been made aware of this, but before Thomas Frank joined. A lot will depend on whether United meet the valuation. Spurs are prepared to better Manchester United's rejected 45 plus £10 million offer if given the encouragement. But as Sky mentioned, they also have Antoine Semenyo and Tyler Diblin on their list. And another update came from Sam Dean, who also said, this is from the Telegraph, it remains to be seen whether Spurs are willing to make the sort of financial offer that would be required to sign Bryan Mbeumo ahead of Manchester United. It is expected that interested parties will need to bid at least £60 million in order to convince Brentford to sell. So really, the story here is Spurs have upped the interest. Spurs have spoken to Brentford. Man United are still in pole position, and that's still what Mbeumo wants, but he's a bit more interested now in Spurs because Thomas Frank's there. KG, you were saying Spurs are shit.
Yeah, I was saying Spurs are shit. like, and they've been shit, like, and they'll just be Spurs. And X and Don Robbie couldn't understand because they're like, you beaten us 4 times. And I said, while I understand that, that's true, you have beaten us 4 times, but you're still shit. Like, you're just always gonna be Spurs. Like, if you're thinking about, progressing your career, you're not getting to Spurs. If you're picking a club to start a life at, it's just not Spurs. You might as well just be the backup to Saka than go to Spurs. Like that feels like a mad situation. Even if you're shit at United, you still can progress your career. Yeah, like it's different. Like Joe Blackman, get that off the screen. Joe, you dick. We're not Spurs. That's ridiculous.
Well, we're worse than Spurs right now. We just lost in the European final on a whimper to Spurs.
Have you not heard that? We're talking about Man United.
Hey,
do you not understand that? Do you not understand that
kind
line?
of mood today, I'll tell you, because in the first 6 minutes, he said the word shit like 10 times. He just called Joe Blackman a dick.
I hear it, but it's
Yeah, but-
Spurs. It's Spurs.
Yeah, but
guys.
KG,
It's
we can't.
Spurs.
I
Guys,
hate KG. I
Spurs a bigger
hate
draw than Man
you.
United. Wait, is Spurs a bigger draw than Man United?
No,
Is it?
no, they're not.
No,
but
no.
also,
But there is some context that can change things, though. And I think this is one of the deals. This is probably one of the only type of deals where the context can change things. I'd say that. Because it's Thomas Frank. It could change things.
And
I think it can change things. I don't believe it will.
I hear that. I
hear
you when you talk about the manager, yeah. But I'm just talking about the size of the club, yeah. Like, I don't even know why he would do that.
I know why he would do it, because he can stay in London. There's reasons
they're playing
why,
Champions
bro.
League this season. Are they going to be playing Champions League every season going forward?
Depends how they sell the project. Tim.
Well, put it this way, KG. Yeah, this is a genuine true story. When I was getting ready for this show, whatever, and I was looking around for Bryan Mbeumo in a Spurs shirt, and I couldn't find one, so I thought, oh, I've got to do a shitty Photoshop deal here. So I had to find the Spurs kit, and that's what that is, right? The Spurs and United kit. When I was looking for it, yeah, and I went on the Spurs website, the first thing that comes up is Champions League badges. We're in the Champions League next season, Champions League badges. And I thought, yeah, I'd kind of sort of eliminated that from my memory.
They're in the Champions League. It happened. That's what we're doing here. I think we need to be. No,
we're going to be this. There's a reason why Cunha is excited about Man United.
Of course,
because it is
Man United fan.
When he was, but I'm saying when he was wherever he was in Brazil, he was looking at this club saying, "No, that's Man United." That's what we have. That still exists, and we've gone over this a few times. I believe that if you're backing yourself with those players, you're gonna come to United and say, "I'm gonna play my football here." I get we're shit right now at the moment. Does that mean we're gonna be shit forever? No. This is the first time we finished 15th ever in our lives. You lot acting that we do this every season. We don't.
Yeah, but Spurs don't finish 17th.
We
Spurs
finished
everything every season. Yeah. That's who they are. That's who they've been until today, until this season.
Yeah, but you can't
against the worst Man United side ever.
Right, KG. I hear you. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm going to be
You want me to be excited? You want
me
to
KG.
Don't be bad. Go on,
KG. KG. I can tell you in this.
Oh, he's saying he's very a hypocrite flex. Is it? His flex been a bit hypocritical. Basically, is that how you feel?
I'll be whatever the fans want me to be. Don't be.
How do you feel? How do you feel about flex right now?
I will be however the chat told me to be. That's why I'm going to be right now.
God, bloody hell, you're very salty.
Don't be negative. I'm not going to be negative. I'm going to be what
I thought flex was the king of passive aggressiveness. What's going on here?
I don't know what to do. Go on, flex.
Wow.
Tell me why I should.
KG, you seem upset.
I'm not going to tell you what to. I'm not telling you anything. I'm just talking. I'm not telling you you must do this or you must do that. Yeah. I'm just talking. I said the floor is open. We are just talking about this topic in an open forum. That's all that's happening here. Okay, I'm not telling you. I'm not demanding that you do anything. Yeah. All I was going to say is I can put myself in your shoes. I know you've just come back from Best of Enemies. I know you've come back from best of enemies.
We didn't have a mad one. We didn't have a mad time.
No, I know, but it comes. But I do believe that, especially this topic, going into that studio with this news, you must, and rightly so, you must defend our badge with all you have. You must basically tell X to his face, 100% on the spot. You are. Don't talk to me. Yeah,
he's telling you what to do.
You
Again,
done that.
KG. You know that. You must do this. You can do what you want.
You got two choices here, KG. KG, hold on, wait a minute.
Last
KG,
I checked, you're your own man, mate. So
KG, you could wait for Christmas if we could give Owen his wooden spoon, or you can lock into me. It's up to you.
I'm just chilling, mate.
Just chill. There you go. Okay.
Why deflecting on me?
So I don't know. I'm trying to carry on my point, but I don't know if Owen's going to keep interjecting or if I can carry on my point. I don't know. It's up to everyone.
Karen, tell Katie what to think. Go on.
Okay.
Go on.
Okay. So here's something that could have happened is that they are applying a lot of pressure, and rightly so. You have to make sure that our badge is defended. X can't come up in your face and say, yeah, you're not this, you're shit club, rare. 100%. Spurs are shit. Don't talk to me. Do you understand who we are? Just got Cunha, mate, yeah? Do you understand? Agreed. Yes. Don Robert, same thing. Mate, 3 successive seconds, no trophy in fight. We're still Man United. Like you say, this is Man United we're talking about. That's, yes. But I still believe, you don't have to believe this, as Owen's trying to say. I still believe when you come back here, I think we have to have a bit of a conversation that, yes, they are Spurs and yes, they are shit, but the context can change this. Bryan Mbeumo has played under Thomas Frank for the best part of 5 years now, something like that. He's done really well. And the fact that he's gone there and this story is a thing and he's still not our player, I just don't think we can say, personally, my opinion, doesn't have to be yours. My opinion is, I think we should be slightly concerned as the longer he goes as not our player. I like the fact that Ben Jacob is saying, yeah, okay, that's fine. It's still Man United. It's still this. But the Champions League thing, he can stay in London. And it's Thomas Frank. You never know. I'm saying that. That's
I agree.
Owen, what do you think?
I still think we'll sign Bryan Mbeumo. I'm not worried too much. I do think it's probably been a bit overhyped to an extent. And I think, once again, it's one of those ones whereby in a vacuum of information, people, particularly journalists, have to fill it with something. So we haven't heard that much about Mbeumo over the last few days, have we? We see it in the chat quite a lot of the mornings that we've been doing these transfer shows. Oh, the Mbeumo is blah, 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 blah. It's easy, isn't it? Thomas Frank's gone there. Oh, no, so now he's going to go there. And because when you actually break it down, when you get into the nitty gritty of what is actually being reported here, they say Man United are still the front runners. He still wants to go to Manchester United. There's going to be a second bid that goes in. Brentford still wants £60 million in totality. And really, the only reason they're saying that he's maybe a little bit more interested in Spurs is because his old manager went there. But he's still not interested as much as he's interested in Man United. So, if that's a hijacking, I'm pretty comfortable. You know,
so the bit where it says that he is more interested in. So that bit that the Sky bit says, where's that, Owen? Can you pull that back bit up? Where is that? Hold on, is it this one? The bit where it says Spurs have received encouragement. Does that terminology not worry you at all? Is that just like, nah, whatever? Obviously, initial discussions because they've received encouragement. The bit where they're saying they're willing to pay more if they're, encouraged.
Well, it says there, a lot will depend on whether United meet the valuation. So the way I see it is basically the way I see it is that effectively they're saying, look, if Man United mess it up and it falls apart, then he's going to be leaving Brentford, so that would be his preferred choice if the situation falls apart. It's just on Man United. Then don't let it fall apart. And we all know,
Jason Wilcox, get active, get the deal done.
Yeah, and it's the moment we signed Matheus Cunha for 62.5 million, it was very clear that Brentford went, we think Mbeumo's similar to that, so we want 60 million. That's what it's been for the last 10 days. So it might even be Mbeumo just going, let's not drag this out. You know what I mean? In the same way that suddenly we're interested in like 3 or 4 different strikers now, when for the last week or so it's like, Gyökeres, and then suddenly it's Ekitike and Osimhen. Talks going back to that. It just feels a bit, once again the player side of things. We could go to Spurs. Spurs are interested, but he still wants to come to Man United. So I'm not too worried. I'm not too worried about it. Not just yet. I'm still trying to be positive, unlike some. Isn't that right, KG?
Well, I'm just chilling because I like to wait on the chat to tell me basically how to feel.
No,
Nah, shit, I have to. I have to.
Why?
I
What
remember the day
makes
they-
you? What makes
I remember
you?
the day they super chatted me to death. They super chatted me into silence. Yeah, when I was really negative. Yeah, I went on a negative spin. And now I believe in the club again and saying we're Man United. And they're like, hey, hold on. We're still 17th, we're still 15th or whatever the
Are you
number is.
suggesting that the chat don't know what they?
Here you go, Flex.
Yeah.
We got a bit of an update on Brian Mbeumo coming from KG's favorite journalist, Dharma Chef. Yeah, also known as Dharma Chef. He has said that Brian Mbeumo is still leaning towards Manchester United, who are expected to go back in with a fresh offer. So from the same outlet, from Sky, Dharmesh, he's gone, well, no, he's still leaning towards United. United are going to go back in for a second offer. Actually, again, it's all on Man United. It's all on United. If United screw it up, then you could go to Spurs. But it's just a case of, do you let it fall through your fingers?
So can I still say that we're Man United and Spurs are shit and it doesn't matter that you finish below them? And I don't
know. Should we ask Flex? Flex, what should KG think?
Should I or chat? What should we chat? Am I allowed to say that?
It's a free speech. We got a sports journalism award, so everyone's allowed to say what they please. I don't know why you're asking me.
Listen, man, I think for sure, these clubs are just taking it. I think that it's just what the media are playing games. They have to do their part in terms of the articles. They have to just go for it, and everything's quieting down. There's only so much they can write about Gyökeres at the moment. It's kind of like that whole striker stuff. Because Gyökeres is basically in a bind, he can't leave. The gentleman's agreement was there, and he just can't leave at the moment. And there's nothing his agent can do. The president, everyone's spoken, and I think the, Sporting have made it really clear. Well, he's not 100 million. That's what Sporting have said is, hey guys, he's not 100 million. Over to you. Any agreement that was once had, I don't remember it. Yeah, and Man United now need to act, or whoever, any interested club need to act on that news. I don't think Man United, where we are right now with potential outgoings and sells, we can't do nothing about that. However, what we can do something about, which the club and everyone said earlier, unless that was fabrication and lies, is the club don't need to sell a player before bringing in Mbeumo. They spoke about the money that they have, and they said that can be done independently of player sales. One thing we know with Brentford is as soon as they try to do their business early, so they got rid of Flecken, boom, new keeper there immediately. And if they're trying to prepare for their new coach, they kind of need to know what's in the war kitty when you're telling someone.
Yeah, they need a swift conclusion. Yeah,
you need to say, okay, Mbeumo's gone, but you have 60 million to play with. Maybe you can go and get 2 players for you, or you've got ideas of how you want to spend this money, but this is what we can do for you. And they can't wait. They ain't got the whole time. You know how we say, Man United are relaxed about the situation. Brentford could get relegated next season if they're not careful. They have to be on point. They have to get their eggs in a row, ducks in a row, sorry. And I think that's what's going on.
Oh, and what are you laughing at? No, what? You find something funny there, or
no? Because it's mixed up.
Eggs in a row, ducks in order. Yeah, sorry, man.
So you love
there's an egg one though, isn't it? I swear there's an egg one.
Put an eggs in all the eggs in your basket.
There you go. But ducks in a row just felt better.
I'm with you. Let's get the super chats out. Bad Gal Riri has gifted 5, but 10 UV memberships. Big up to you, Riri. Always showing love. Big up, man. And big up to the beneficiaries of them 10 memberships. Shout that out, everyone, and make sure you guys enjoy it. Pritish says, his age is what makes me think he definitely comes to us. He's 25. If he goes to Spurs, less likely he ever goes to a bigger club. So he's ready for that big club move now, and it ain't Spurs, like KG's saying. Chris says, not worried at all. And we get Gyökeres too. Chris just dropping that one in there just for no reason. Yeah, going to get him as well, mate. And very possible. Larry says, I mentioned Man United resuming talks on the red carpet. And y'all didn't believe it. Thank goodness I explained myself last night on KG stream before it became mainstream news, and that is to do with the Victor Osimhen situation. I remember when Larry was saying that he's been
and
saying
he's going to get an
interview.
He's going to try his best on the channel, UV or on Reckless. Listen,
I feel like Larry's got a lot going on. If Victor Osimhen comes through, Larry goes straight to tier 1. Like he does. He has to.
Yeah.
Like beyond tier 1. Like because that's higher than Ornstein at the moment if it comes through. Especially because Osimhen's been quite far over there while all this is about the Gyökeres thing. Even the Ekatike tried to come through. The Osimhen's been on ice for a bit. And then all of a sudden we're getting some reports that are claiming what Larry said from a few days ago and enlightened you guys on KG Vector Sports as well. So Larry, we're doing this. We're interested.
I would love it.
We're interested. Red Devils Down Under has gifted not 5 but 10 UV memberships as well.
Red Devils Down Under
going off.
100%,
man. Big up all the Reds Down Under as well. And he also says we need this guy in Mbeumo. He moves the needle big time.
Massive.
And so Marcus says, catching my first live stream since transferring to Italy. Still trying to adjust. Jamaica yard, okay, and abroad KG at yard and abroad. So what, you catching you? So you transferred to Italy, okay? So from Jamaica, Ross, okay. I think that's what you're saying. And abroad to get KG.
Yeah.
KG, what's the eyes for? Is that just like a?
No, but basically nobody's having it that I'm not. They're saying I'm Jamaican. You know, because I like.
Oh yeah, because the vibe you do love a lot of Jamaican culture.
I like the Jamaican culture in it. So
no, listen, you're definitely.
And I had Uncle, you know, the Asna Jabo guy. I had the guy that has a song, on my channel, and literally it's like I didn't know. I thought he was Jamaican.
What? And he's Nigerian.
Yeah.
And he didn't recognize his fellow brother. Like he's like, nah, that's a Jamaican right there. That's not a Nigerian.
Yeah. And then they saw.
How does that make you feel?
Well, it was really, it is what it is. However the chat want me to feel and whatever nationality you want me to take, I'm take that.
I've got
whatever
testo.
Nationality. No.
I've got testo KG. See how Nigerian you are. So Larry, if he's becoming, Nigerian Romano, instead of "here we go," what would the catchphrase be? What would the catchphrase be for Larry?
Easy.
Funke. Spell how?
Victor Osimhen to Manchester United.
That's what you'll say though. Trust me. If he sounds Funke, I'm telling you, because you got to go Funke, she's gonna know.
What's the original? You see that clip there? What's the original one from that one?
It's the boy that's telling his.
And he comes home, his dad. Oh, with the.
Yeah, Ted's in. You're going to end up in McDonald's. You can go to jail for that.
So what's Funke like? Ross? Is that what that means?
Yeah. That's calling the wife. The wife's name.
Oh, the wife's called Funke.
Yeah, he's snitching at a high level.
Like, get down here now.
So if Osimhen signs to Man United,
Funke.
Brian Mbeumo, he has selected Manchester United over Spurs.
Funke. Well, save it for when it happens. Save it. No break, Owen. We don't want you to press the breaking news if we're live.
No.
Breaking news. It's so rubbish, but so good at the same time. Oh man. Bruno says, it's Friday, lads. I hope you're all doing well today. We signed Cunha. We are signing. We signing in Mbeumo and Gyökeres. We win in the league. Let's go. I got sunstroke as well.
Sunstroke is real as well, man.
Be careful, it's hot out there today, man. Owen, you been out today?
Yes. Do you know, actually, I got sunburned like a couple of days ago. I went out for a walk for like 45 minutes and I got sunburned.
Was it overcast?
Yeah. It's just high UV rays. You know what I mean? Just high
UV rays, yeah.
How do you do it? Yeah. Are you all right with that?
How do I do?
Yeah.
Did I send you that picture when I got sunburnt like a month ago?
No, you didn't. But please,
I can forward it to you if you want.
I'll send it to him. I'll send it to you, KG. I'll just forward it from when I sent it to Flash.
How's it do in the sun? Look at this picture.
Oh, we haven't had severe heat though.
Oh, it doesn't need to be.
No, we did like a month ago. It was like the driest thing on record, wasn't it? It was like the driest. Oh, yeah, driest thing on record.
Yeah,
I'll send you two. I'll send you one sort of at night, and I put my hand next to my face for comparison.
I can't wait.
Oh,
Fucking hell, mate.
Right, and then literally, and I'll show you the morning after. I'll show you the morning. The morning after, it's worse. Morning after, it's worse.
Owen. Oh, bloody hell. Oh, you're not good. You're not. You do not need to be.
No.
Oh, wow. You kind of.
And you don't. And what's crazy is it looks like
you could be like, what the hell? What's going on?
it looks like I was in a sunbed and I had those like weird like tiny things over the eyes. I wasn't even wearing sunglasses. I don't know how that happened.
You know what?
Just like you did a Trossard celebration in the sun, bro.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hey, wait, hold on. What's that wrestler that does the spear? He took out Ishol speed. Bron Breaker,
yeah.
Yeah. It's like you got the Bron Breaker tan on, bro.
Also, actually, as well, when it comes to because in about 15-minute flex or so, you'll be leaving us. I've prepared in case for when Flex leaves or if you leave. Now, previously we had some different graphics for this show if people weren't available or what have you. I've added some stuff. Thing. Yeah, exactly. So, for instance, if I take KG out, right, what I can put in now is KG, which is that
AI KG. Oh,
it's that. Look at the wingbacks.
Is that his Andy Tate? Is that his Andy Tate face as well?
Yeah, look at the wingbacks, Fleck. Look at the wingbacks.
Oh yeah.
What's so crazy is that's when the wingbacks are really inverted. That's when they were truly inverted.
They weren't high and wide. They were covered inside. Get more touches.
But I've also got one for Fleck. I've got one for Fleck for when Flex leaves us as well. So I can get the Flex one. There you go.
I love that one. I love that. That's just, bro. That's
what about
it,
this,
man.
You're a criminal for last week, you know.
No, that is.
I
it.
forgot.
A lot of people was in. Anyway, we're not gonna go back. Let's not go back.
Well, let's go back because he's calling you a criminal.
Owen,
that's not fair, is it, KG?
Right now, it's the.
It's gaslight. Yeah, tell him, KG.
Owen,
so he's just called you a criminal, and now you're going to be angry with me.
See, KG, he's telling you who to be mad at. He's telling you how to feel. This is what we're talking about.
Talk about Osimhen. That's what I want to talk about.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay, I've got some Osimhen stuff.
And he's leaving soon. You're leaving soon, right, Flex? So
yeah, so we do need to talk about Osimhen.
Tell us what you think about Osimhen.
Well, this is the thing.
What you got on Osimhen? What's going on?
So reports coming out today, a Larry exclusive first, said Manchester United have now resumed talks with Victor Osimhen. The player is still asking for that same astronomical wages for £10.2 million a year, which is £196,000 a week. I think that's after tax as well. So it's significantly more. It's like 300.
So I was going to say 200 bag a week. That's about right for Osimhen, isn't it? But
this is United have also not giving up on signing Victor Osimhen this summer. But the suggestion is maybe the Osimhen one, like Larry was saying, Flex, still could be.
I'm going to respect Larry. I'm going to respect Larry because he said that this was kind of a thing. The source who said that as well, that backed up what Larry. I'm not really familiar, but I didn't see who it was. Who's the source?
It was.
Who is that?
Seb. Let me find out. For you, Fleck.
But I don't know. The Osimhen one is the dream. I'll be honest. The Osimhen one is the
French journalist Sebastian Denis for Foot Mercato. He's I think based in Paris, and obviously Osimhen did play previously in France.
Right. Okay. Yeah, listen, man. I badly want Osimhen. Yes, over Gyökeres. If when it was the Delap thing and all that, I was like, yeah, young player, market opportunity. But can we just go big? Can we just go and get Osimhen before obviously all the stuff that's came out? That's more like, it's difficult to do. And then he was going to go Al Hilal. It looked like it was locked in. That collapses. Galatasaray now pushing, etc., etc. I was very much. I've just been like that. You said them wages. I just can't see us doing it. I really hope I'm wrong. I really, really hope I'm wrong. I would like Osimhen is the one for me. Over Gyökeres, definitely. Over Ekitike. Out of all the options that are out there, Osimhen is the one. I would love to have Victor Osimhen. Experience, score goals at every level. And I think he's just got that edge over Victor Gyökeres.
Just a goal scorer.
100%.
Imagine Bruno passing to him.
Yeah. But is that what we're talking about? Is that the type of thing before tax?
It's a lot. It's a lot.
But he doesn't need to do that.
Would you be prepared to make him the highest paid player at the club?
No.
Because we have to be sensible as well. And that's the thing. Like, we do have to be sensible. But then, let's be honest, whoever comes in, because, well, Bruno's the highest. Bruno's on like 300. Rashi don't count anymore.
Well, Casemiro's the highest.
Oh, yeah, 350. Nah, you can't. We can't go back there, guys. We can't, man.
We're trying to fix it. But I say that if we can get him to like, what, 250, if we can agree, 250 on the highest, 280, that's it.
Like, you have to pay premium for these type of man, innit? You do.
But then imagine, the only thing that would affect us though is with that AFCON, if it's Mbeumo, but Mbeumo, Ahmad, Osimhen, who else we got in the team? That
Onana. Well, that's a good thing.
Yeah.
Go.
No, he'll go to AFCON and not play again.
Mazraoui as well. Whoa. That's significant. 4 players. Bloody hell.
It's a lot.
It's a lot. That's the one thing where you haven't protected yourself in that scenario. But who knows, man? It's different for Man United to Seki Kone. He's not one that's going to be playing. I don't imagine he's playing first team football next season.
I think he's in like the under 20s, isn't it? I think, or under 18s or something.
Yeah, but that's a lot of players to go and then just end up with Rasmus. Do you know what I mean? Or whoever, whatever happens.
Just back to square one for a month.
For a month. I don't know how Liverpool used to do it.
Your recruitment's got to be good.
Mane and Salah leaving that's mental. But they did it. So
yeah, that's why the recruitment's got to be good. But I just think, again, I know I keep saying it. Obviously, how realistic it is, I don't know. About Jason Wilcox, again, we have to do everything you can to try and secure at least one of these victors. We need it. We need them, man. He has to. I want to see us go 2-0. I know this Mbeumo thing, of course. Don't get me wrong. We want to get over the line, but all in all jokes aside, I agree with both of you, man. I do. I feel like we'll be all right with that one. Just it's locking down one of these victors, locking down the striker. How much money we're going to have, and again, people do keep asking us to talk about it a bit more, but it is all about the outgoings, man. It is. I think the Mbeumo one is like, yeah, we know we can get these 2 man without the sales.
About that, to be honest,
it's the outgoings is very quiet, and that's if we don't get. We can want Victor Osimhen all we want. We can want Victor Gyökeres all we want, but if there is no significant bid or movement on Garnacho, Anthony, Sancho, Rashford, Garnacho's probably the one that can, you can get that one fee come through and you go there. Oh, and you're looking puzzled.
No, I just saw the United District just posted breaking. Tottenham have launched £70 million bid to hijack Man United's move for Bryan Mbeumo, but this comes from the Mirror, so whether or not how accurate it is, but it says that Spurs is offering 65 million. 65
so the
million
Mirror have just done
5 million add-ons. Yeah.
Let me read the piece.
10 million more pound than United.
Tottenham make it's Darren Lewis. Darren Lewis has written this.
Darren
Lewis has written this.
He gave us the award, mate.
Darren Lewis. Uncle Darren has written this.
It's Darren Lewis.
At 4:30. Let me read this out because remember, Fleck, you're telling people how to feel. Remember, Spurs have launched a £70 million bid to hijack Man United's move for Brentford forward Bryan Mbeumo. The North Londoners' offer is worth 65 plus 5 in add-ons, 10 million more than United's. As revealed by Mirror Sport last week, new Spurs boss Thomas Frank wants to take the 25-year-old with him to North London. Tottenham chairman Daniel Levy wants to deliver the Cameroon international as a statement signing as Ange's successor. But United, here you go. But United remain the preferred destination for Mbeumo, who scored 20 league goals for Brentford over the past season. Frank wants to try and tempt him to the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium with the prospect of a reunion in Champions League football. The Dane worked with Mbeumo. United have already made 2 bids for Mbeumo, the most recent of which was a 60 million package worth 55 plus 5 in add-ons last week. Brentford refused to accept it, leaving the door open for Spurs to come in with what could now be a decisive offer. As things stand, it is unlikely United will pay more for Mbeumo than the 60 million package they have already splashed out on their marquee signing, Matheus Cunha. While that could yet change, Brentford feel they are within their rights to stick to their 70 million valuation of Mbeumo, who was outscored by just 3 players last season: Salah, Isak, and Haaland. Mbeumo's 7 assists were also key in helping the West Londoners to a top half finish. The area where United could yet maintain the edge is wages. The money on offer at Old Trafford is between 150 and 175,000 pound a week, with bonuses, taking Mbeumo's contract expected package to 200k a week. Spurs would have to break their strict wage structure to match that. Okay, this is interesting. With Mbeumo expected to earn around 130 to 140 grand a week, bonuses would still see it fall short of the cash he would pick up at United. Mbeumo has a year left on his... Okay, right, there you go.
Why does this Mbeumo fee, though, like... a few weeks ago, it's going to be like 55. Now it's going, it's going to be 60. Now it's, Brentford are looking out for 70. How many times has the goalpost moved on this price? And actually, that's a bit of a bit of a strange story, because they're saying Spurs have the edge because they might offer more, like close to 70 million, but they'll offer significantly less on wages, where Man United will offer wages. So, I think even regardless of the fee, what you can see here is that, like you said, Owen, the key is it's hidden in the middle because you get all of the other stuff, which is quite worrying. But when you read the article, but United remained the preferred destination for Mbeumo. There's that one. And wages is a massive thing, because you're basically asking Mbeumo to say, do you want to accept 150 to 175 grand a week, plus the bonuses will take it to about 200 grand a week. Do you want to accept that? Or do you want to earn 130 to 140 inclusive of bonuses at Spurs, which is the bit where KG says, we're Man United, mate. We will flex some sort of muscles on you. We will pay more to get you. And his preferred option, even regardless of the wages, is still being reported as us. However, 70 million, according to Darren Lewis, is on the table, man. It's there. It's on the table. Ours is not on the table. We need Brentford to accept the bid. Something's got to give. But another one is coming. But it's not going to be 70.
So,
well, there you go. And that's a problem, it seems.
You're saying another bid from Spurs is coming?
No, us.
Another bid from us is coming.
Okay. You're saying they put 70 on the table. Darmesh, that's the name, right? Is saying that.
Darmesh just said that, yeah.
Where did he say that? I was looking for that tweet. Where has he said that? It's not on his Twitter.
It probably would have been on Sky or on the transfer blog. A lot of the stuff comes from the transfer blog for Sky.
James Muppeteers is saying, if they bid this, then fair play, good for them. It's too much.
Well, that's the other part of it as well, isn't it? Is 70. If we spent 70 million on Bryan Mbeumo, then I would say that is too much. That is too much.
You may as well take that and go and get flipping Osimhen or Jokic. You may if you've got 70 million to spend on a man, we shouldn't spend it on him.
See, you just got Ryan Cherky for like 35 or something ridiculous, didn't they? You know what I mean?
Yeah, he's got a year left on his contract.
He is.
KG.
Year plus one.
He's got a year plus one.
I'd play 70 million, Brian.
Did you pay it?
I would. Good player. I can't even pretend that he's not.
He is wicked. He's wicked. He's wicked.
He's a very good player. But also, just in terms of financial advice, KG.
How much did you buy Rasmus for?
Like 70 million.
That's not a good thing to
do it right now.
You can't compare it to our old deals and say, well, we paid 70 for Rasmus. Otherwise, we are screwed.
That wasn't a good 70 million, is what I'm saying. This is a good 70 million. We spent money worse than this. This would be. No,
but with where we are now, then what are you saying then? Because if I said to you, there's 70 million, KG, there's 70 million now. You could take that 70 million and explore the real deal, Gyökeres and Osimhen. Gyökeres or Osimhen, we're going to take the 70, we'll explore it, we'll try and make it happen because we've got to spend 70 plus. Or you're trying to get Mbeumo.
I like Mbeumo, I paid the 70, bro. I'd pay the 70.
I remember when we used the calculator.
Minna says, I'd pay 70 for Mbeumo just because of the clip from the red carpet going viral again will be my 13th reason. Mate, if we don't get Mbeumo after that clip, we're in trouble.
But if we pay the 70, first of all, when we did the spending thing on a calculator a couple of years ago, KG broke the calculator because he overspent. That's one thing. So of course he would pay the 70 for Bryan Mbeumo. Secondly, if we do end up paying 70 million and pay high wages, then we don't have the right to get shitty when other clubs, other opposition fans start going, oh, they're only coming to you because you're giving them big wages, because we would have not learned our lesson at all. Like a couple of weeks ago, remember that when we were having a pushback and we were going, "Oh, they're just saying that they're just getting, I just want to get Mbeumo, just wants to get this and just wants to get that because spending wages. If we spend 70 and then go, oh, we'll give you like 200, 250, then they're right.
No, but
we only got them to join because we spent a shitload of money.
They just said 150, 170. Where have we got to 200?
No, it says inclusive with bonuses, it would take it to 200. It is.
And what do we?
It says. I'll give you the quote. It says
bonuses. That means you've done well, right?
With bonuses, taking Mbeumo's expected package to 200k a week.
Well, that means he's done well to reach the bonuses, right?
It would suggest so.
You get a bonus for like being shit.
Sometimes at Man United you can.
Yeah, well, you can get bonus for getting on the pitch.
I think he's a transformative player. I just think he's a player that will really.
I agree.
So I would pay the 70 for a player like that. Personally.
Just at what cost? I don't know. It's 70 too high. You want the player. You want the player.
Works
but the question you have to ask yourself is 70 million. Is 70 million is better off spent a different way?
Where?
And also,
maybe in the same position.
Is this just Brentford posturing to get more money as well? Spurs would offer 70, would they? Yeah. Really?
Well, listen, I don't know if I think 70 million for Mbeumo is about right, to be honest. What, 5 million off Cunha 65? I think they're not
62 and a half.
Yeah, I don't think they're far from each other though, guys, honestly.
Yeah.
Like I get Brentford are gonna get what they need to get for their player. It just lets you see what's going on. They've said they want big money for their players. We can never.
We haven't learned our lesson, then, have we? We haven't learned our lesson when it comes to all of that, because what we've done in the past is when it comes to these negotiations, what we end up doing, we just give them what they want. If we were really prepared to offer 55 to 60, 70. Okay, well, next time you got us. Really? How much do you want your wages? 200. You got us. But then we have not learned our lesson. We haven't learned our lesson when it comes to it. Last season, we were saying about last season's transfers that we had learned our lesson somewhat because the money that we spent on some of the players was actually good value. And we got De Ligt for under 40 million, Mazraoui 13 million, Xerxes, what was 30, just over 35 million. Even though Ugarte, when we looked at that, went, oh, it's a little bit too expensive. You just feel like
we're paying United. We're paying for goals and we ain't got none.
Yeah, we said that about every attacking player we've signed over the last few years. KG. When we bought Højlund,
scoring in at Brentford, scored 20 goals at Brentford. Give me 10. Give me 10 of those Premier League goals to what our players are not doing. He's scoring at Brentford. He's making it happen at Brentford, and he's a player that can transform your team. Really, him and Cunha would make us way different. It's a scarier attack than before.
Of course it does.
Again, we don't. Again, we can go for the cheaper option or the untried option, and find ourselves saying we need to spend again. Because like right now, we're not happy. We spent money. Yes, we've done some cheap stuff, but has it given us what we're looking for? We went cheap on Xerxes was a bit cheap in terms of just how much was he?
Yeah, but the reason we've got into this position of paying cheap is because we've overspent in the past that we have to, because we'll find ourselves in the same position like we have now when we're talking about Sancho, Rashford, Anthony, etc. We're all going, we want them to leave, but we're not really sure actually if we can get them to leave because we either overspent or we put them on big wages. And we wouldn't have learned our lesson. We have to get out of this phase of don't get bullied in these transfers. If they're going to overcharge you, that fine. I mean, to be honest, I'd be shocked if Spurs spent 70 million pounds on Bryan Mbeumo. I'd go, bloody hell, that's quite interesting, isn't it? I didn't really expect that.
They've done it before. They've spent big P's on Solanke last year. They spent big P's on Richarlison. Spurs could the 70, and they've got the Champions League money. They're showing intent. They're showing intent, and it's simple as this: if we want him, we're gonna have to show this latest intent. As Darren
should go for it, and even if it's the one like 150, 170, if we can't convince him, then it is what it is. But I'm not saying smash your whole wage structure, but Man United should try and go for that one, personally.
Yeah, Darren tweeted 4 minutes ago. It says Tottenham will fight Manchester United for Mbeumo and have made a 70 million bid to try and hijack his move to Old Trafford. Spurs offer understood to be closer to Brentford's valuation of their player. Although Mbeumo is still leaning towards a United move, Thomas Frank believes he can persuade him to stay in London. So that's the best snapshot of it there. You can get into all the semantics. The bottom line is Spurs have bid. They are trying to hijack this move. So anyone thinking, oh, it's not real, this is just hearsay, this is just paper talk. No. Spurs have put £70 million down on the table. Fact. Also, that is closer. Doesn't say it reaches. It says it's closer to Brentford's valuation. Obviously, Brentford are going to keep going up and up whatever they can get. We know that. Another fact of this is that he still wants to come to Man United. His preferred destination is Man United. So what could actually happen here is you get Brentford saying, well, we're not accepting Man United's bid, Brian. We're not doing that. And him saying, well, I'm not accepting going to Spurs. I don't want to go there. And then something will have to give because Brentford won't, you know what I mean? When that sort of stuff happens, yeah, something has to give. And usually the player will get what he wants. You can't make Brian Mbeumo go to Spurs. You can't. Sure. If you're Brentford, you can't.
Well, and also, and this is where Brentford said, "Well, you can't make us accept the offer." I suppose. I mean, this is the crazy part here. So,
but then
Owen does not want Mbeumo at the club. Who does Owen want instead?
Guys, sorry, I got to shoot. But
yeah.
I'm probably going to do a flexi view on this even more because this is probably going to rumble on into the night and just I need to consider because I hear what KG's saying. We really need this player, and you have to pay premium, but sins of the past and that. It's a tough one. Big up, you guys. I'm gonna shout you.
Yeah, big up, Fleck. With that one, the comment there that just said about who does want it said, I still want. I forgot I put that there. I'm leaving it there. I still want. Obviously, I want Brian Mbeumo. I want Brian. I've been saying for the last few weeks or so about that front three. I use the analogy of KG of like it's a hip replacement. They've taken literally the thing out, put a new one in. It's better, but at the same time, everyone's got a price. Everyone's got a value. £70 million. That's a lot of money. If Spurs are willing to invest that, fair enough. We can't. My thing is, this is when I talk about talking out both sides of our mouth, right, KG? My favorite phrase, talking out both sides of our mouth. Then we are talking out both sides of our mouth. If we criticize and say, this is the problem. For years and years, we've overspent and we can't move these players on and big wages. We spent big money, this, that, and the other. And then when the heat comes up just a smidge in a transfer negotiation, we go, pay it. Pay it
lose out on good signing? Like, could you lose out on, like, that's a good player. That's one. We spent money on shit. Now you're spending money on proven goal scorers. Like, I don't think you're asking for, especially if you get it for the right type of salaries. Well, I'm not saying go crazy over 200. We got players on 300, which is no one else. No other club
before KG. Lukaku, Sanchez, prem proven. We put him on over 500k a week.
That was a mistake. That's what I'm saying. That's a big. That one is a big mistake in terms of those salaries. The Sancho salary, 350. No clubs. You want a salary that another club can pick up. Another club can pick up 160, 170. It'll be tough, but they'll pick it up. We've got players on salaries that nobody's getting paid. Hence why they won't leave, why De Gea can rest for a year before going back into work again. And so we need to stop doing that. But I'm not saying stop trying to go for big players. We must. We have to. That is the going. We have to go for big players. We can't now say, he's too expensive. We're not going to go for him because it wouldn't make sense. That doesn't make sense to me. I think Man United
that makes sense to me.
Well, then what type of players are you getting for that's going to bring you back faster? You want to be back in the race as soon as possible, or do you just hope for these players to become gems and make it? I don't know if you can do that.
You can sign players for less. We've seen examples of it. People like City have signed players for less this summer. We've still got a finite amount of money in our budget, haven't we? So so if we sign Mbeumo, right, this summer 70 million, and it's we can't get a striker now because we don't have any money. We can't actually get any other position because we don't have the money. And those players that we said we were going to sell all of them because we've got to get round to this reality. Rashford, Sancho, Garnacho, Anthony. Maybe we sell two of them. Two maybe go out on loan. Maybe
But
two
we
go
can't
out on loan.
sell.
There
But
can be other options. There
we
can
can't
be
sell.
other
We're
options.
not selling Rashford if he's saying that. Rashford's similar to, well, different to Mbeumo, but Rashford wants to go to a specific space, right? He wants to go, it's Barcelona for Rashford. He felt that way, and then he just kind of ended up at Aston Villa. But Rashford waited out until that option was available. There's nothing to say that these players, the likes of Sancho and Rashford, are not going to hold out. And who's going to be stupid enough to sign Sancho right now when he can get him in a year for free? The club's going to have to. The club don't want him. Nobody at Man United wants Sancho. It's the smartest thing to do is just wait. Take him on loan and then make him your player, and then he gets a signing on fee. It's brilliant business for Sancho. Now for Rashford, same situation. Amrim can't, unless we're talking about Amrim reintegrate him into the squad, which I don't see happening. So we're between a rock and a hard place with a player like Rashford as well, which doesn't give us a lot of options, which leaves Rashford in the power position. You lot need to get rid of me before you go on summer on international break. On preseason tour. What are you gonna do? We're not in a position of power with these players, unfortunately.
I feel like with this, it's just not even, again, it's not even a case of like, oh, we have to walk away. I think it's just saying to Brentford, £70 million, but we're not going to pay that. That we think he's valued at this max, 65 all in plus add-ons, but we will constantly find ourselves in this position over and over and over again if this is constantly how we operate, which is we do this thing, put in a couple of bids, they get rejected, they put a really high offer in, and they just go, oh, well, we know it's Man United. Man United will spend it eventually, and then we can't go cry poverty either. Well, we don't have a lot of money. Well, the budget's tight, because we always end up spending the money. We always do. And then in 2 or 3 years' time, we go, or come January, when we're like, I tell you what would be good in January, if we could get that extra player in. We can't. Why? Well, actually, we thought we were going to spend 150 million in the summer. We ended up spending 200 because these other clubs wanted us to. We can't. We have to at some point stop doing those things over and over and over again, because we will find ourselves in the position that we're in now, where like a player like Mbeumo comes up, and had we not made those mistakes for the last 3 or 4 years, you go, yeah, it's an extra 5-10 million. Who gives a shit? He's worth it. But now we have to genuinely think about it. And the reason we have to think about it is because we've made these mistakes over and over and over and over again. And we won't learn our lesson. And if we're happy to do that, that's fine. But then we can't complain. Then we can't complain, because we'll constantly make the same mistakes over and over again.
Statistically,
like there has to be a point where you go, like, you have to stop.
I hear you, Owen, but statistically, he is the He is the second best right winger in the Premier League, and he's getting for 70 million. I don't think it's crazy. I don't think that's crazy, personally. Like, he scored 20 goals. He is literally one of the best right-sided players that's played in the Premier League last season. And his current price tag is a Man United wanting to pay something like 65, and it's 5 million over. Is it a big deal? You're gonna lose out on a player that you really wanted. You're gonna lose out on your main option, 5 million. I don't see that.
Financially for us, it might be the difference between getting another player in, or it might be a difference between getting a couple of extra players in. And also, it's not even just about that. It's about the principle. It's about the principle of we can't puff out our chest. We're Man United, but we get into a transfer negotiation and they just slap us around the face 2 or 3 times and go, give us our money. And we go, oh, okay, sorry, there you go. And then when op fans go, oh, the only reason you're signing him is because you overspend and you give big wages, and we go, oh, that's not true. Well, then it is. It is. He's got a year left plus an option. And on top of that, KG, this is the other part of it. I would agree with you if we were a good team with a good squad, and you go, look, we really only need to get 2 players this summer, get a striker and a 10. That's it. Then I go, well, look, your budget's on 2 players, no problem. We've got so many players we need to get. 2 10, striker, midfielder, goalkeeper, minimum. And we're talking about players, or won't we move them on? So we have to think, well, if some of those players don't go permanently, then how do we spend that money around? How do we get players in? Because what we will do is, if we get just Mbeumo and Cunha, we'll be better. but we'll still be complaining, oh, we didn't get that striker, or we didn't get that midfielder, or we didn't get that goalkeeper because we overspent. We always overspend.
I think Man United, because right now we could be at risk of missing out. We're talking about making a plan for the future and supporting the manager and giving the manager what he needs to be successful, right? I don't know if the lap was a part of his plans, but they said it was one of our main targets. That was according to papers. Yeah, we didn't get that main target. We're now our second main target was Mbeumo, as far as everyone, the club wants Mbeumo, everyone wants Mbeumo. Now you're saying he's off the. So when you're not giving the manager.
I'm not saying he's off the list.
No, but I'm saying give the manager what he needs. Give the manager what he needs. He struggled with the squad. He came in, he inherited a squad that he didn't really know how to use. He said, I want to get these players. Give him the players. But again,
KG, we give Eric Ten Hag what he needs.
Money. I hear you, but if this doesn't work out, you're gonna spend a lot more money on paying him off anyway. You're gonna spend all the money on getting rid of this manager and then getting a new manager with players that he likes. It's still, at some point, you're gonna have to spend. Because if he doesn't get the piece that he needs to be successful, what are you going to do? Bring in the next manager, pay him the severance, the same way you've been paying everyone else severance, and then you're going to run it back, start again. Then you probably have to get a manager that's at another club anyway, more money on top, and all that to save 5 million. Mate, you're going to spend it stupidly anyway. You might as well go for what this manager that's in post needs.
Yeah, but then if you have that mindset of you're going to spend it anyway, then that's when you get into just buy anyone for 100 million, because eventually we'll spend 100 million anyway on mistakes.
I'm not saying that. I'm just, the main thing is, I get we're seeing it from two different sides. I'm just saying Man United have probably spent so much money in uprooting and creating a new squad over and over again. That's what we do. Yeah. And then the originals that were here, they don't go anywhere. Your Luke Shaws, your ones that have been here for seasons upon seasons, they stay, and these other guys just go. You literally give yourselves problems again. If you don't give this manager the tools to be successful now, you're gonna pay for it. And he's saying, these are my targets. Do what you can to bring in them targets, because you're gonna have to pay significantly at some point. We're still probably paying off Ten Hag. We're still paying off.
Which is true.
Old school manager. We're paying off people that left before. For this shit.
But you can still get tools. He could be given more tools for that amount of money. I think when it comes to Mbeumo, look, I'd rather us have Mbeumo than not have him. Don't get it mistaken when it comes to that. But I'm also talking about there is value in not constantly overspending, being able to stick within a budget and put it around to other issues in squad. You talk about giving the managers what they need. Ruben Amorim needs more than just singularly Bryan Mbeumo. He needs more. And if it was a case of, well, we overspent a little bit there, so we can't get you those more tools, then you're letting him down again anyway. Get him what he needs in every position, not just one.
Even what DJ,
imagine that.
With sales, we thought, look at the recoup, what DJ's saying. I don't know, man. I think being 5 million off and missing out on a deal is I don't know if it's a wise decision, personally. But
we've got 1 million super chats to get to, KG. So Marcus says, I'm active duty military and moved from the US. So that's why he moved to, was it Italy? It's Italy, that's where he moved to. Lil Yo-Yo says, let's be clear, KG isn't Jamaican. He is Jamaican with the Jamaican English accent. Is that factually accurate?
Whatever the chat says.
Red Devils Down Under says, Owen gets sunburn at night. I'm sure it's not a hard thing to do. I get sunburn on an overcast day. It's not a problem. Easy. Dwayne says, we'll have a look. About to see switch targets to Gyökeres, goalkeeper, and CM if Brentford got try to fleece us. International says, we can compare it to Erasmus' disaster transfer fee and move. And Mbeumo, much more proven in the Premier League and at his peak, would cost 2 million less than Timo Haaland. Colonel says, don't we need both, though? We need a right winger and a striker. Dwayne says, and okay with 70 for a Victor or a 6 and walk away. Dwayne also says, if he wants United, he'll turn down the Spurs offer. Red Devils Down Under says, Spurs save 70 million sacking Ange and saving money on the all-you-can-eat buffet. They can afford it. It's very sizist, isn't it, KG? That very sizist. We don't body shame here. Dwayne says, new plan, Bruno or Ahmad in the 10, get a central midfielder. Z is boss says, my issue with Victor Gyökeres is that he's been playing against a high defense line and plenty of space to run into for the past 2 years. Teams in the Premier League won't give him such space. We need a more complete striker. Dwayne says, we can buy big because we don't sell big, in my opinion. Is that meant to be can't? Dwayne also says, stand on the business, Omar and Jason. DJ says, United can't afford to be bent over a barrel for players, but there are players you make exceptions for. He is one of them, which is kind of what KG is saying. JJ says, Owen, I hear you and I agree with you. Problem is, can Ineos get a good alternative? The jury is still out. Also, can we make silent deals like City? And look, that's a fair pushback. And I think that is where you're talking about, KG, aren't you? Look, Prem proven. If I had faith in the ability to get those alternatives that were better value for money, then you'd be okay with it. But you like Mbeumo, we know what we're getting there, and that's a good opportunity. I do get that, but at the same time, I'm still like, I don't know. DJ says, with the sales we forecasted, United will recoup that 5 million in sales and wages. That is true. But we're talking about, again, learning our lessons, and I'm guilty of this. Because we did it last summer. Remember last summer? This player's going to go. This player's going to go. Casemiro's going to go. And a lot of them didn't end up going.
But
I'm just like, oh.
Don't you think that money from that, the Asia tour, where we just embarrassed ourselves, use the 8 million from that? Use that money for it.
Well, was it for that, or was it for recouping the money that we would have made if, obviously we didn't win Europa League, we finished 15th in the Premier League, so there's a huge amount of prize money that we didn't get. Has that gone into that?
Listen, man, I don't know what these guys are thinking. Apparently, there's money to do the Gyökeres deal, but we're just pretending that we don't have it. Then there is money.
Well, that's a good point. If United do have the money, but then again, even if you do have the money, they should still threaten Brentford to walk away. We're not just going to pay you just because we've got it in the pocket. We're not.
Yeah, well, you give them the Sancho 5 million as well, innit? Like, do something, man. Like, I don't know, man. Again, I get people who disagree with this, and there's a reason why I'm not in the boardroom, innit? Because I'd buy him. Me personally, I'd get him. I wouldn't waste time. But listen, I'm hoping the better businessmen that have been leading this club well for all these years can get it done, and we can believe in them again, innit?
Joel's been around for 6 months, says we need to be prepared to walk away from deals and leave with dignity. We are too desperate for success. If it ain't meant to be, it ain't meant to
dignity
be.
in 15 is crazy, bro.
We don't have a lot of dignity. We don't have dignity. But then at the same time, we don't have dignity. Either way, we don't have dignity. Because when we overspend, we don't have dignity. When we finish 15th, we don't have dignity. When we're losing to Asian All-Stars, we don't have dignity.
We was on a bus parade. We was on a bus tour. And there was just three of it was embarrassing. What do you think about this? So someone comes in for Gyökeres. So we're on the table for Gyökeres. 70 million. Yeah. That's what they're saying. Yeah. Someone comes in and says 76 million. Do you walk away?
Well, this goes back to alternatives, isn't it? So I would say, well, what other options are on the table? So if they said Gyökeres, they've upped it to getting closer to that 100 million euro release clause.
No, just
what have you?
Yeah, no, just
or even that. Then I would go. Okay, then I start talking again to Napoli and go. So how much did you want for Victor Osimhen? Or I talked to Ekatike. So what are you saying for him?
Well, they're saying 100. I'm talking. That's what I'm saying. These are live situations, right?
So there are alternatives out there.
But Ekatike is 100 million euros, right? And then Osimhen's salary
about
there.
80.
If it's us and Arsenal, we put in 70, and Arsenal say, "Hey, we're here with 75. Do you walk away or do we go for it because it's a good player?"
And then when I'm having those conversations with Napoli about Osimhen, I go, and I hear you're interested in Garnacho. Do you want to do separate transfers when it comes to that? Because actually that could negate that and we could then get Osimhen. I feel like, obviously, look, first of all, actually, with that Mirror article, I think there's parts of it that smell like bullshit, to be honest with you. And you notice, what is the common thread in what everyone's reporting about this situation? The common thread is Mbeumo wants United. He's still leaning towards United. So that's your leverage there, isn't it? That's your leverage. And you say to Brentford, you want They go, but Brentford, you want 70? We're not giving you that. Our max is 65. Right, make it happen. I still think we'll sign him, but I don't think we'll sign him for 70 million. I think that's 70 million. I'd be stunned at 70. And if Spurs want to pay that, more credit to them.
I don't know. I feel like if he's a primary target, get him. I'll stick by that one. And that might not be the popular take, but sure, I think.
But imagine that when we initially earmarked that we were going to sign him for like 55 million and we end up buying him for 70. Then we haven't learned our lesson.
No, but if other teams are in for him, you can't tell the market went up. The price went up. Other teams want him. If there's a bidding war for Anthony, the price goes up. We're gonna try.
Like,
if it's just the market,
you've just moved, right? Imagine you're trying to get a house. This is our budget. Our budget is this, and then you go, I thought we found our dream house, and you went, well, market went up. Well, we can't afford it now.
Right, but then guess what? If it's the house that you really know, if it's the house, the house that when your missus starts crying, you're gonna make it happen.
Well, then you start crying even more in like 3 years' time when you're missing your mortgage payments, and you went, well, they just got too high.
You gotta make it happen.
I'd be like, if she was crying, I'd be like, well, we're going to be crying in 3 years when we're out on the streets. But don't worry, you got the drapes you wanted. We could have still been in a nice house.
I don't know, man. Hey. I hope United don't let us down. I really hope, we're not here. We're in when the start of the season or 10 games into the season saying he never got his targets. You know how he gave that Eric Ten Hag that Frankie de Jong tax? He really wanted Frankie.
Maybe that's the difference. Maybe that's the difference because I was never on that thing with Eric either.
A lot of people.
We didn't get the players that he wanted.
That was an excuse that was raining though. That was an excuse that was raining.
Yeah, I know, and it was stupid. Like that whole thing of.
But I know you don't subscribe to it, but there's gonna be a bag of people that are gonna say he wanted him, he didn't get him. I'm not ready for an Ornstein bomber. I just don't even need that.
Because everyone can say that, can't they? Well, get me Lamine Yamal. Well, you didn't get my targets, so
I just is it a bomber? Fuck off.
No, it's not. There's nothing to come up with. It's just a guy in the chat. It's just a guy in the chat.
Because that would just, I'm not even ready for like it's finished and it's done. And because when Ornstein does that, forget all conversation and talks, bro. It's finished.
Okay, well, here's one then, KG. Set me up with Ana de Armas, please.
What?
Set me up with Ana de Armas, please.
Who the hell
Actress.
is
that? Actress. Well, you haven't let me get my targets then. If you haven't got one, you've let me down. So
that. That's not like she's not a football player. Is she a football player? Do you have a club? Can I try and talk her into romantic relations? Do you think I'm a pimp? Do you think I'm the Godfather?
Well, you didn't. You let me down. You didn't give me my targets. So,
well, no, because it doesn't work like that. Do you have a club? Would you like her to play for you? Or you want something else?
I'm not going there. I'm not going there. But get my point. That's how ridiculous. KG, set me up with Margot Robbie, please. Set me up with Margot Robbie.
Well, listen. End of the day, I'm not that kind of agent, mate. Can't do that.
Wow, well, you didn't get my targets then. You didn't. You know what I mean? You let me down. You didn't get my players.
Who is that woman though? Let me type. What's her name? Ahmed. This what?
Ana de Armas.
Anna.
She was in Blade Runner and John Wick. Or the ballerina thing with John Wick.
Is that a bit of you? Yeah, she's nice. Yeah.
What does Flex think? Flex? Yeah, I think he does as well.
Flex, look at the smile. Yeah.
A couple more super chats and we'll wrap it up. The Web Fear says, hella late, just left work meeting. I'm dying. Flex looks like he's loving the transfer window. 21, mate. That's what it is there. That's just rude, show.
Huh? Did you see that thing I tagged you in with Shawn Michaels trying to remember all those wrestlers that he's
The
got?
voices, Lash Legend. Yeah.
You recognize Lash immediately.
I was going to get the clip from the Royal Rumble stream and just under that go, is she Nigerian? And I thought, I don't want to get KG in trouble.
Yeah,
I don't want to get KG in trouble.
She left there, please. Yeah, thanks a lot.
Where are we at in terms of likes? We're at 611 likes. We've still got over 1,700 people watching. So if you haven't already, click the like button. See if we get to 750 on the way out. Be sure to subscribe. KG, are you doing anything on your channel this evening?
I think I need to go live. I'm just trying to talk to these lot and see if we're gonna, because I feel like people want to have their say about it, like now. Yeah, I feel like this is a big conversation. Might go live.
Yeah.
I feel like I should. Yeah, but I'll be live
either way. Yeah, KG will be live in a second. I've redirected you to his channel anyway for his NBA stream, so you can find your way around when it comes to that.
Oh man, wait!
He left. The best thing is he left, and look at the pictures I'm left with. This guy, honestly. I mean, Jason said, what's your photo though, Owen? I don't, because if I'm not here, then this overlay doesn't happen. So, Olivia says, Owen, I've set up a stream instead. Let's have a look. Because I'm trying, at this point, I'm literally just vamping for time. So I can help out KG, that comedian. I can't see it. Why can't I see it? KG's reckless sport. It's the worst ending that we've ever had. Really, isn't it? You know what I mean? It's the worst. It's the worst ending we've ever had on this podcast. Yeah. I can't believe KG just left. He's genuinely left. He just did not come back. What did he do? Where did he go? Like, he literally just pissed off. Oh, there you go. Right. Okay. Well, you'll be redirected. 1,500, bless 1,500 of you sticking around. Watch that. You'll be redirected to KG That Comedian's channel. Click the like button for this madness on the way out. And be sure to subscribe and all that fun stuff. We'll be back with more stuff. Just Josh Media. Yeah, I imagine he just walked into this. Don't worry, Josh. I didn't do the whole show like this. Could you imagine if I said it was a Trinity and it was just me? Those pictures. Oh my God. Anyway, I'm wrapping things up. Have a good weekend, folks. We'll be back with more content soon. Stay tuned. You'll be redirected to KG's channel. Peace.